Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we completed Berath's task as Servant of Death. We have taken out both the leaders of the Golden Grove and the Ethic Knoll. And with that, we can return to Teir Evron. We can hopefully have a chat with both Rimmergrand and Berath. See what they want us to do after we jump in the pit. And from there, we can make our decision. I'm curious. I'm curious about what either of them would want us to do with the souls. Let me set my timer going. There we go. Okay, yes. 2 Elms Reach, if you please. I will say the gods have sent her to hunt the intruder. This I claim. Hey, yeah, well, I mean, we kind of have been. How else can we defend our people and our heritage? I wonder, is there anything... Considering that a whisper among the others, Erona lives no more. Yeah, we were able to persuade Erona to kind of pass on, so I don't think these guys would have any beef with us.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists, or simply to bask in Wethra's glory? What will the Ovids do now that Erona is gone? She lowers her head. That's unclear. Erona's passing has shown us the perils of leadership, even when authority is as benevolent as hers. She looks on at the kith gathered in the grove. Most of us became Ovates so that we wouldn't be shackled to the whims of a god. Some of us have questioned what it means to elevate another as we did Erona. Yeah, don't do it. Don't just, form a council. Form a little council, and, you can serve for 1 term, and then someone else has to take over. Have it just, never have one person in charge. I must go. I won't go and check in on the Ethic Knoll, because, I get the feeling that they might still be pissed at us, so, we're just gonna leave them be. Just gonna leave them be. Okay, who do we want? I want to leave Berath for last, because she's on her own. Rimmergrand has been paired up with Ondra and, is it Skane? I want to say it's Skane. Yeah, so we'll leave you till last, my dear. Once more you approach the shrine and the constellation of the Beast of Winter. This time the cold emanating from the shrine is unmistakable. A thin frost has formed upon the edges of the stone. We will pray to Rimmergrand. You pray again, and the vision of the white plain emerges. The driving wind returns in a chaos of whirling snow. Something moves at the center of the blizzard, plodding but relentless. As the snowstorm gets closer, you see an aurochs, as colossal and slow as a glacier. Its shaggy white hair is matted with frost, but beneath it, ribs like a ship's frame protrude. Visible puffs of air issue from Sagani's gaping mouth. It's the Beast of Winter. A man, hello there, buddy. A man, emaciated and almost naked, huddles at the beast's legs. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from his face. His black eyes pierce the whiteout. Aloth leans forward. By the wheel, it's Skane. The aurochs stops and stands before you, enveloping you in the violent blizzard that surrounds it. Though its mouth does not move, the beast speaks in a deep, thunderous voice.
A clan of Glamfelin ventured from the white that wends to find the crack in the ice. When you sealed it, you damned their souls to a slow weathering here, one they had sought to escape.
Their souls will eventually break down. Their recklessness endangered the rest of Oldsong. This was what your vision direct. I mean, to be brutal, it was... I don't think Ximena had any kind of, I don't think she had any, strong, way of like, she didn't feel anything. She didn't feel anything in that quest. She wasn't like, oh my god, these poor people, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's unfortunate that they got awakened. It's unfortunate, but, like, again, who's she gonna go up against? A group of elves or a god? It was unfortunate that their souls were awakened, but she's not trying to piss you off. And considering this seems to be the group of arseholes. We've got Skane, who the one interaction we had with him was that poor lass in that village, who she'd been raped by her uncle or something, and Skanites were trying to use her to kill the guy, and they were going to drive her insane. So Skane's an arsehole. Andra's told us to kill ourselves. And this guy is the Beast of Winter, who is followed by death and disintegration. This does not seem like the group of arseholes you want to piss off. Like, it's unfortunate that those guys, their souls were awakened. And it seems like you're gonna keep doing this, but like, yo, I'm not trying to piss you off, dickhead. That was what your vision directed.
A fitting reply from an obedient servant. You seek always the correct answer, like a solution to a riddle.
The scarred man rubs his hands together and nods, simpering and craven.
For each there is a season watcher. Winter's shroud covers all things in its time. The heat and energy of life dissipates, and untethered essence fades into chaos. But entropy is a chisel of ice and a hammer of wind. It is not for mortals to wield these tools.
The world shudders beneath you, and a great crack echoes across the white expanse. The ice splits at your feet, waves lapping through the rift. Hello there! A low, melancholy voice rises from the depths.
I did not expect we would meet again so soon. You destroyed the army that threatened your life.
Madam, I didn't think we would either, but I'm told I need your help. No thanks to you. You set me up to die. When I get done here, I'm going to settle the score. You can count on it. Bitch, you were like the one god that Ximena felt anything for, because she's moon godlike. You are the reason why Ximena exists as she does. No, actually, you are the reason Ximena exists at all. Because her parents, every child they had prior, they ditched. You know, this was a couple, they had a very active sex life. They were, you know, very much besotted with each other. They had many children, and they just ditched them on doorsteps or in churches because we can't be arsed raising a kid. The only reason they kept Ximena is because, oh, this one's moon godlike, we can use this. If Ximena had been born as a regular human, they would have left her on a doorstep and she could have been raised by anyone. Ximena could have been like a nun. She could have been a merchant somewhere. She could have been a beggar. Like, the reason why Ximena is because of this woman. Or this god, rather. Andra was the only god that Ximena had respect for. And you told her to kill herself. I don't think she'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get you, because again, this is a god, but she's gonna be snarky. No thanks to you.
I gave you the means to solve your problem. Be grateful I allowed you to survive the ordeal. You would not be here if you did not require our aid.
Bitch, I survived the ordeal because I had a diver's helmet on me.
What is it you seek?
The thousands of souls that Theos has stolen for Wodica. Theos Ixarcanon, the man responsible for my current plight, understanding of who I was and what my past means now. Theos Ixarcanon, the man responsible for my current plight.
Yet there is a greater plot at work here, Watcher. Theos acts not for himself. He is the Burned Queen's quiet slave, a master of secrets and schemes.
Skane's beady black eyes glint.
Theos is a winter gale, unseen by the world even while he carves and shapes it. Wodica directs him, sending him to wipe her enemies from Eora.
And Animancy as well. He would see those secrets lost, the knowledge forgotten.
The waves whisper. Pallegina turns to you and speaks softly through a smug grin. If I don't make it through this, assuming it's not too much to ask, please tell the Dukes that I did tell them so.
And he would see his mistress grow fat on the essence of thousands. For her, he has harvested the unborn souls of the Deerwood.
It's impossible to tell whether Skane's ragged expression is a smile or a snarl. Why does Theos hate Animancy?
He believes that some knowledge is best lost to mortals.
The waves break quietly against the ice for several seconds.
More importantly, Boudica despises it, and he yields to the will of the exiled queen in all things.
I realize his methods have been questionable, but mightn't he be right? What does Boudica want with these souls?
To consume them, to collect her evaporating power, rebuilding what the turning ages have stripped from her.
The gaunt Oryx seems to sigh as freezing winds tug at its fur.
She would reclaim her status like an island of silt dredged from the sea.
With this fresh, raw essence, Boudica will seize power over those gods and kith who have refused to acknowledge her authority, the ultimate act of vengeance.
What now?
Theos has removed these souls from the cycle. They are ice melting in the sun. Let them fade.
Rumagran's deep, slow voice echoes across the glacier.
Let them forget this world and be forgotten by it.
Waves crash in agreement.
Take the souls she so desires and grind them into dust. Let her see her careful schemes thoroughly ruined.
Skane grins, still huddled next to one of the beast's woolly legs. That last one sounded a little nastier than the other two. For several seconds, the waves wash quietly against the ice, and the Oryx stands silently amidst the churning flurries.
It is the destiny of all things to crumble and join the chaos that follows this world. Some seek it willingly, as you have seen.
To mingle, roiled and stirred by the tides of the universe. It is not an unkind fate.
You would give these souls the very fate you sought to deny the Glamfellan pilgrims.
I am the beast of winter. I neither speed nor alter my path for the whims and desires of kith. I take souls at the time of my choosing, be it mote by mote or in a sudden tempest of chaos.
The Oryx snorts.
These souls, they have already forgotten their place in this world. They have been lost to existence. Let them be memorialized and mourned for an age, and then forgotten entirely.
The waves rise, besiege. Yeah, this is, yeah, it is unfortunate what became of the pilgrims, them just having to go back to their lives, but, like, I mean, Ximena didn't feel necessarily strongly for their plight. It was sad, it was very sad, but she's not gonna go against a god. She's not gonna go against a god, especially a god and his friends who all seem like absolute assholes. Why do you oppose Boudica?
She desires to order chaos and shackle the agents of change in the world. Under her, all things would remain static and frozen according to her laws.
The Oryx shakes its hoary mane, exposing its prominent ribs.
Even now, she only barely keeps the pact of the gods to leave the affairs of kith in mortal hands. She moves in Theos where she cannot move directly.
And so we call on you to do the same. Such are the schemes of the queen that was.
I was so close. It was the queen that was, not the queen that never was. Yeah, oh, I was close though. Skane's laughter is thin and shrill. I'll seek Theos in sun and shadow.
When you reach the burial isle, we will send lost souls to guide you through the pit. This is our gift to you. What you do after you face Theos will be your choice, but we would have you set the stolen essence adrift.
And whether you would heed us or no, Understand that our end comes to all things eventually. Help us achieve it, and we shall reward you now with a power to rival Theos's.
The beast advances.
But do not choose lightly. We forget nothing, least of all a betrayal.
I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Do not wait forever. We wait, but Theos does not.
Remagrand continues towards you, swallowing you in a blinding, deafening snowstorm. You experience a dizzying, exhilarating disorientation, oblivious to the landscape around you, and even the reality of your own body. You hear a noise that could be the shrieking winds or Skane's screeching cackle, and then it recedes with everything else. Remagrand reappears in the distance, trudging away from you, and the whiteout follows him. As the vision of snow fades, it leaves in its wake the flagstones of Teir Evron. Okay. Oh, hello. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's you, but hello. The Valian animancer Aseta, known for her extensive work into the properties of living Ardra, caused a huge stir in Bijapay when she claimed to her colleagues that she believed all living Adra is interconnected within the heart of Aora itself. The claim alone was not that scandalous, but Aseta boasted that she had created a device that allowed her to physically travel along the pathways of living Ardra down towards their source. The thing she claimed to see caused an uproar among some of the more religious animancers, many of whom found the statements blasphemous. A few days later, Aseta was nowhere to be found and her home had been thoroughly sacked. Some fear she was killed for her boasts. Others fear that her statements were pure fact, that Aseta escaped the wrath of her colleagues by using her invention to permanently step into the between. Okay, well, Kana, that sounds something like you might like to investigate. So 5 turns, okay. Do I have 5 turns? Once more you stand before the shrine and the skull constellation which marks its dedication to Berath. We shall pray to her. Or them. Or him. As you pray to Berath, you again find yourself on the road. Squinting into the distance, you see a short, pale figure waiting for you. At first you think it's another vision of Archdruid Ristin, but then you notice the figure's skeletal frame and Richter's grin. He stands in front of another skull gate, but the way leads down, not onwards. He beckons you to approach. This must be the usher. Aloth's voice is low. Behind you is a woman, her skin milk pale against her black hair. She wears a suit of armor so dark it seems to suck the light from the stars. The road winds up a mountain behind her.
A toll, traveler.
She holds out a hand. And the Pallid Knight. Follow the usher, pay the Pallid Knight. I'm drawn to you. We shall pay the Pallid Knight. You drop a few coppers into her hand and she closes her fist around the coin. You instantly feel a small weight added to your purse. The lord of this road demands a toll of all, but he lends generously that all might travel his road again. Behind her, the usher grins his lipless smile and waits. The road bores into the mountain and you find yourself in a gigantic cavern. The ceiling curves up and away and it's dotted with moisture. At this distance, the shining beads look like stars, clustered and scattered in constellations. The usher and the Pallid Knight lead you up a trail carved into the edges of the cavern. 2 identical cave mouths wait up ahead, and you follow the usher to one of them. Standing at the edge and gazing down, you see an endless, ever-changing plain, bisected by a road. Only then do you realize that you are no longer on the road. As you follow the road to the point where it disappears below you, you realize that you're standing in one of the eye sockets of a massive skull. The usher points to the road. Archdruid Ristin appears below you. He's just as you remembered him, stern and smooth-skinned. Yet with each step along the road, he grows, swelling with blood and essence. His heavy steps become slower and slower until he stops altogether. His distended body fills the path completely.
You met a dwarf traveling this road. What did you do?
The Pallid Knight's voice is low and soft. He had lived many centuries, I brought him death. He had lived many centuries, I brought him new life. He lived on the blood of others, I saw justice done. Ristin had stood in place for too long, I merely set him moving again. It is the destiny of all mortals to die, I fulfilled the will of the gods. Ooh. I'm drawn to number 1. Because even though this is a world of, renewal, you reincarnate, I don't think Ximena, I don't think she's comforted by the fact, oh, when I die, I'll reincarnate. Like, no, she'll still die. Unless the soul goes to another body and awakens, and she's the awakened, entity, the awakened life. She won't exist anymore. Like, death is death. He had lived many centuries. I brought him death. The pallid knight's flesh is taut against her skull. She nods once, barely dipping her chin.
And every death begins in a new life.
As Reston's swollen body ruptures, the effect is like a dam bursting. Ghostly figures, as hazy and indistinct as wisps of smoke, continue along the cleared path. Some tumble and rush along while others amble and drift, but all continue forwards. The usher directs your attention to another figure moving down the path. This time you see high ovate Erona. As she follows the road, her movements become slow and erratic. Her legs creak with each step and her feet grow long, thick roots that burrow into the ground. She finally stops, rooted in place.
You found a tree that had lived for centuries. Its roots were deep, and its boughs sheltered many. Why did you cut it down?
The pallid knight turns to you again. It was unnatural, it couldn't sustain itself. Trees don't belong in the road. I thought that if I cleared the tree, maybe the lord of the road would grant me a boon. I'm tired of the tree's endless riddles. It was a parasite. While its branches sheltered others, its roots sucked them dry. I enjoy cutting things down. Cool. Here's the thing, she was very much like the ethic Null, but she was trying, oh, I'm superior. Yeah, no, you're sucking the life out of these other individuals. You can say it's better because you're not hacking at them with hatchets, but you're doing the exact same thing. It was a parasite. While its branches sheltered others, its roots sucked them dry.
All draw their life's energy from the deaths of others. This is why all must remain part of the cycle of death and rebirth. No creature may be a closed loop unto itself.
Erona's body petrifies below, and the shimmering leaves of her hair blow down the path. You seek another who has lived his lives on the brink of the cycle. He sits on the inside of the wheel, observing its revolutions. With each life, he is plucked from the stream and returned to it intact. Why do you hunt Theos? Theos has entrapped thousands of souls for Wodica. I've got to stop him from giving her absolute power. For answers. He understands what has happened to me. Revenge, my soul's torment, is his doing. I will make him pay. I seek a resolution. In confronting him, I'll put an end to the pain he's caused me. For answers. He understands what has happened to me.
Always seeking reasons and meaning. But answers are circular, Watcher. To find them, you must begin with the right question. The question is not what Theos has done, but whom he serves.
The pallid knight inclines her head. Starlight gleams off of her hollow cheeks. The top of Durance's staff bursts into flame. You had best answer your own questions, knight. You would not care for my means of extraction. Theos serves Wodica. She desires an escape from her own cycle. Power without decline. Theos has removed thousands of souls from the cycle so that their essence might empower her. The black depths of her eyes threaten to swallow you. You must stop him, and you must return them to the cycle. What end would it serve to send the souls back into the cycle? I don't see what this has to do with me. Why does Wodica even need Theos' help? And why do you need mine for that matter? I must go to Shannon. What end would it serve to send the souls back into the cycle? Attending to these souls is a question of stability, Watcher. Of maintaining the natural order of the world and the ebb and flow of essence. Okay. Couldn't they be returned to the Hollowborn? As battered, burdened things. Do you mix soured wine with fresh? The kindness you seek lies in giving them a new beginning, not in shackling them to this life. Yeah, I want to go down. I want to see what your answers are. If Theos has meddled with these souls, perhaps it would be better to destroy them. The cycle is merciless, but it is not wasteful. Time and the endless procession of rebirths eventually grind souls into dust, but until then they must pass from the world and return to it. Their continuing movement advances the cycle itself. The cycles are changeless and monotonous. Surely there's a better alternative. The illusion of revolution. It is merely part of another cycle, and a painful one. True change has structure, geometry. It is the product of cycles within cycles, 1,000 gears spinning and moving the universe by degrees. What's wrong with Wodaka seizing this power? The cycle of Kith is a thing of balance. Likewise is the cycle of gods. We rise and fall in the favour of mortals, only to fall and rise again. But Wodaka seeks the power to place herself outside this cycle. She would root herself and grow to the detriment of others. The usher silently gestures to the road, where a broken tree and a husk of flesh are still visible. I think I understand what you're telling me. The usher gestures to the road and the starry expanse beyond, while the pallid knight speaks. I only show you the motion of the universe, Watcher. I don't... Well, it has to do with me, because we're kind of like... We need to find him. We need to find him. So, and as such, we might as well be y'all's messenger. So I don't think Ximena would ask this. We're getting everyone's opinions, we're getting everyone's thoughts, because it's interesting to see, you know, like, asking the same question to a bunch of different people, we're going to get a bunch of different perspectives. We will gain new knowledge. We will, just by hearing the different perspectives. This one, it has to do with us, because we need to find the guy. That's why it has to do with us, like, Why does Wodaka even need Theos' help? And why do you need mine, for that matter? The gods guide souls through the cycle of death and rebirth, but Aora is the domain of mortals. We stand aside, weights and counterweights. Were one to alter the tides of Kith, all would follow. We would tip this world from its axis. That is why Wodaka directs a mortal to do her bidding, and why any who would stop Theos must be mortal as well. Then we're doing this because we need to do this. It's interesting. It would be interesting, like, to get this from a god's perspective. I don't see what this has to do with me. Theos builds a dam to divert water from a stream. The flow of thousands of souls would shape the world you live in, Watcher. It will also shape the world your soul returns to in its next... Yeah, if you're not going to do this for you right now, think about what will become of you in the next life. I must go to Sun and Shadow now.
No mortal can survive the descent into the pit. But there are souls on the burial isle that are pledged to me. I will grant them to you, and they shall bear you down safely, as well as light the way beyond.
A multitude appears at the other end of the road, raising their voices and kicking up dust as they make their way towards you. Return them to the cycle, Watcher. Promise that you will, and I shall give you power befitting a champion of death. The pallid knight raises a finger. Accept my favour, however, and I will demand this decision as your due. I collect from all mortals in time. I need to think about this. Do not delay long, Watcher. What Theos seeks to do cannot be undone, even by the turning of the wheel. The usher points behind you. When you turn, you find yourself again standing in Teir Evron. Okay. Right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go rest up in the tavern. Because we have surely lost hit points. We've had some combat, so we need to rest up from that. So we have 4 options. Destroy the souls. I'm not inclined to do that. Return the souls to the Hollowborn. I'm also not inclined to do that either. I mean, as Berath said, do you mix good wine with the sour? You don't. And here's the thing: my thought is, if we return the souls to the children, okay, one, what becomes of all of the souls who don't have bodies anymore because their parents threw them in a well or threw them in the harbour? What happens to the people who have animal souls in them currently, the wits? What becomes of them? And quite frankly, what becomes of all of the people who, like, oh, my baby, they're alive, they're blinking, they're crying, they're hungry, they are no longer Hollowborn, oh my god, Neighbour Jeff, have you heard? And Neighbour Jeff's just thinking, I threw my kid in the harbour because there was no cure. Oh fuck. Like, what becomes of all of those people who killed their children thinking, oh, this is merciful? And then suddenly their neighbour's kids are all alive and well, And they're thinking, shit, all I had to do was wait a few years and I'd have my kid. Fuck. That would be soul destroying. That would be absolutely soul destroying. So I'm not inclined to return the souls to the Hollowborn, because I think there are too many what ifs. There are too many what ifs. I think we either return the souls to the wheel, or we use the souls to strengthen.
Good day, stranger.
I completely forgot that your name is Haggard Shoes. Okay. Yeah, I'd like a room, please. Yeah, the best one. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know. I think both are good. Ximena. God, this is what she's been reduced. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. There goes my timer. I'm just gonna run into the pole. Oh God. Down we go. Oh. I can see arguments for both. By returning them to the wheel, they will be reborn. They'll go on to their next lives. Basically, we're setting everything right. Everyone is going where they should be. Or as close to as to where they should be. I'm thinking this country has suffered so much. We've met people. We've met people who have suffered. We found people that we liked who were dealing with Hollowborn kids. I'm thinking if we send everyone back to the wheel, then that means that the people of Deerwood, they'll still have their Hollowborn kids. The bodies will still be here. This matter concerns the tribes, not foreigners. Well, tough shit, I'm here. I'm here and I'm fucking about with your stuff. But the Estramogan will not cease their attacks. We must summon the warriors from every tribe. Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's fine, dude, it's fine. I'm kind of drawn to dispersing the souls amongst the Deerwood. Because here's the thing. Okay, so we send all of the souls back to the wheel. Like I said, they're where they should be, theoretically. You know, like I said, giving the Hollowborn their souls back. To me, there are too many unknowns. There are too many unknown outcomes for that. I don't like it. And I'm not going to just grind the souls up into dust. I don't like that. If we send them back to the wheel, the natural order is reinstated. However, we've got a bunch of people who have effectively dead kids, but not dead kids. And they've got to look at them day in and day out. And yes, those souls have gone on. Like, okay, a new, you know, like little baby Benny is now little baby Sophia. Okay, that's great, but that doesn't help the parents of little baby Benny. They're still suffering. If we have the souls go to, you know, the people of the Deerwood, that will give them the strength to recover. We need to make sure... We're planning on staying in this country. We're planning on staying here, and if the country goes to shit because everyone is too depressed to continue, then what, you know, like, the country will fall. The country will fall to rack and ruin. That is a very selfish way of thinking about it. Just like, I'm staying here, therefore I need the country to get better, to, you know, move forwards from this natural disaster. That's why I'm doing. But then again, I'm like, that is also quite a Ximena way of thinking, I think. She is at her core selfish. She's trying to improve, but she's still, like, her core traits are still her core traits. And like I said, giving the souls back to the Hollowborn, I don't think that's an option for Ximena. Because like I said, what happens to the wits? What happens to the souls of the babies who have been drowned because the parents said, yeah, now we can't deal with this? What happens to the parents who did something horrific to their babies and are now looking like shit, if only we'd have waited? If only we'd have waited. That will drive so many people to end their own lives, I'm telling you. It would. It would. All I had to do was wait a few years and I'd have my child. And instead I threw them in the harbour. I think we're going to side with Galawain. I would not have thought that. I would not have pictured that. If you had said, okay, you can, like, here's the list of gods you can side with, who are you going to side with? I'm not going to lie, I would have said Hylia, because she's, like I said, she's like the nicey nice one. Oh, she's all about motherhood and singing and all of that. I would have said, yeah, Ximena will probably side with Hylia, but upon hearing what Hylia wants, like I said, what happens to the Wicts? What happens to the souls of those whose, you know, the Hollowborn kids were drowned? Like, what happened? Like, there are too many what ifs. There are too many what ifs. Sending them to the wheel would it would sort out the natural order, but like I said, then you've got a bunch of people who are really depressed. I don't know how the country would ever bounce back. This way, yes, the Hollowborn, those kids are still there, but at least the country will bounce back. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we will pray to Galawain. Galawain and his beasts, followed by Magrin and Abaddon, emerge from the forge. Or from the foliage. Yeah. I pledge now that I shall convert the captured souls into essence to strengthen the dear wood.
The bargain is struck, Watcher. Keep your part.
Galawain lunges for you and sinks a hatchet into your chest. Oh dear God. You cry out, but the pain passes quickly. Energy and power seep into you through the wound, and when Galawain withdraws, the flesh knits again to contain something warmer and pulsing with power. Ximena was granted Galawain's boon. The vision vanishes in an instant, returning you to Teir Evron, where burning candles replace the glowing eyes of Galawain's beast. Okay, what is this boon? What, pray tell, is this boon? +1 might, +1 athletics. This is completely useless to Ximena. This is completely useless for her, but, like, thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. Balls to it. Balls to it. Okay, and on that note, I am going to bring this episode to a close, which means I think... yeah, I think literally all we have to do is leap into the pit. This is it. Oh my God, this is it. I don't know if next episode is going to be the final episode, but I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okie doke. So until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davies, CGG, The Named User, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.